Hello, everyone. Um, okay, I think we're live now. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session. We're very glad to have you here today. Thank you very much for being here today. So, we're just waiting a few more minutes for more people to join in, just a few minutes, and then we'll kick off this official. So, just hang around. There's a lot to learn today. There's a lot to gain. And we have our speaker who is going to be sharing with us very, very useful information on building your portfolio in the cloud. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. So for now, you can just just share this YouTube link so that your circles and to your social media pages, and more people can join in. All right. Okay. All right, everyone. Okay, so we're starting things officially now. Okay, so welcome everyone to today's session. Today's session is titled Crafting Your Digital Identity, the Art of Building a Powerful Portfolio. And today we have a guest speaker amongst us, and we are not having by the person of Bob Adewusi. Bob will be coming up shortly. But just to officially introduce myself to people that don't already know me, I'm Paul Aderedu. I'm a final year medical student at the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, and I'm also the co-captain of the AWS Cloud Club at the University of Lagos. And we also have Manuel here. Manuel, do you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Paul. Good evening, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Oni. I'm a systems engineering student in the University of Lagos, 400 level to be precise. I'm also a co-captain of the AWS Cloud Club Unilab chapter. And yeah, it's really amazing having everyone here this evening to be able to share into looking into the heart of creating a wonderful portfolio. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. I'm going to go. All right. So yeah. So as I said earlier, today is actually it's centered around building a very powerful portfolio. As we all know, we recently completed the bootcamp, which Emmanuel will be talking about shortly. But I just want to know like your expectations for these events. At the end of this event, we'll be learning how to take up projects, personal projects that will help you build a good portfolio. You'll be learning about the ways that we from experienced cloud engineer about how to go about this, about how to successfully craft a good portfolio, can case to prospective recruiters and employers, in order to land your dream job. And also I think it's going to you also be learning about AWS services, common AWS services that you need to actually master, that are used like day in day out. So I think those are just a few of the things. I don't want to spoil everything at this beginning. So just stick around. There's a lot to learn. So now we'll be moving on to Emmanuel. So Emmanuel is going to be talking about discussing about our recently concluded bootcamp, and also about the people who got vouchers to write their AWS certified cloud practitioner examination. All right, so over to you, Emmanuel.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good evening once again. Yeah, it's really amazing having each and every one of us here this evening. So quickly moving into the next item on the list, we're going to be talking about this boot camp that we just like recently concluded. I think that spanned for about 2 weeks to about a month, of which we successfully ran, and we had a couple of people like successfully completing that particular boot camp. Of which at the end of the boot camp, they were awarded vouchers to take certification exams. Couple of people that had gotten the vouchers had already taken that exams, and most of like the results we've been hearing from people that actually taking that successful results, most of them are really able to ace this certification exam, especially that's for the cloud um, practitioner examination for AWS. And this is like what we've kind of like been doing for past 1 month plus. Currently, we're actually looking into going into the project phase, of which is the subject of topic of discussion this evening. Quickly, we want to take QA as regards issues or as regards questions that you might have as regards the boot camp, about the certification, if there is any questions about that, or if there is anything that is not really clear that you might want to get clarification as regards that, we would really love to like get those questions and just answer them here. I don't know, you can make use of the Q&A chat to ask those questions if there is any.
Okay, yeah. As Manuel said, please make use of the comment section to ask your questions regarding the vouchers or regarding the examination. I'm aware of the fact that some of the people who did the boot camp have written their examinations and have actually passed. So congratulations to them once again. Or in case you have any more questions, any clarifications, please just use the comment section for now. We'd like to address all of that at just before the speaker comes on, okay? So, and you can please, we'd like to actually have a very, very interactive section. So, the comment section, we'll be monitoring the comment section. So, please make use of the comment section.
Yeah, quickly, just to chip in, I know quite a lot of us has actually been working on something. I would really love to like hear from the community what you've been up to in the past, say 1 week, 2 weeks after we're done with the boot camp. What have you been doing? What project have you been working on? I mean, want to like hear from the community what they've been up to so far. You can make use of the comment section as well for this. We really love to like learn. I mean, hear from you all what you've really been up to so far after the boot camp. Hello, Paul. I see your comments. Yeah, definitely we'll get to address that.
Okay.
You can keep them coming, keep them coming, keep them coming. Want to see your wonderful remarks. Wow. Unsubscribe. Oh, nice comment. Yeah, I'm really happy that you're actually taking it a step further, going for the solutions architect certification. Yeah, really nice, really nice one, really nice one. Yeah, keep the comments coming, keep the comments coming. Really love to hear from you all what you've been up to. Well, today's section actually is really a packed one. because we'll be learning so much as regards portfolio building, and I think it's really one of the essential things when it comes to um, like getting jobs. And I know that's like one of the things that a lot of us are really like concerned about. So I think, and it's really something that one needs to like take into cognizance and yeah, and just like work towards. So today's section is really is really a good one to look forward to, and our speaker will actually do justice to that as well. Thank you, Moses.
All right, all right. Okay, Manuel, I think we have two comments or two questions in the comment section. So the first is
Oh,
from, yeah, so Paul says, um, hey, good evening, new year. I'm interested in cloud engineering. How can I get started? Okay, all right. So, okay, firstly, I advise that you stay on this call, or rather on this event for as long as you can. And definitely, I also advise that you join our community. We actually have a community, the AWS Club, University of where we discuss about AWS services. And now we are actually starting a project phase, but basically, we'll guide you, right, on the things you need to do to transition or to start learning how to use cloud services. We've had some events in the past. I'd also encourage you to go through our YouTube page, go to the live section of our YouTube page. You'll see the past events that we've done where we've covered a lot on introduction to cloud computing with AWS. Basically, we had our slides and everything shared on the video. I think it's going to be good. You'd have a good understanding. And then at the end of the event, you can reach out to us. So we had it to our meetup and our WhatsApp community. All right. Okay. So can you take unsubscribed?
unsubscribe. Oh yeah.
So
Okay. I think I took that before now. Let's just take that again quickly.
okay.
So I'm studying for the solutions architect certification, but we love to know what the projects can. I mean, what projects can build my portfolio. Excited for today's section. Yeah, definitely. I think I stated that earlier on. It's really nice that you're actually taking it a step further. And I really love like that. I mean, that enthusiasm to actually take things on and actually work on cool projects. In the course of the session today, I mean, that's what this section is really about projects. I mean, how to start working on project and kind of projects you can actually like engage in. So yeah, just stay tuned in the session and just listen in. I'm very sure you're going to be finding that very insightful. Yeah, so just stay tuned.
All right. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. So now we'll be moving on to the main to the to the so we'll be moving on now to the main speech for today. I'm going to be adding Bob now. So, but before Bob comes up, I'm going to be introducing Bob. All right. So Bob Adeosi is okay. Maybe Emmanuel. I think because Emmanuel has more rapport with Bob, so Emmanuel can want to talk about Bob
You
while
don't put me
I
on
want
the
to try and.
spot. Okay. Um, well, sorry, 1 second. Okay,
All
yeah.
right.
So
So Bob.
quickly. Okay. I think you want to take that. No problem. You can take that.
Yes. All right. So Bob is okay. So Bob is a DevOps engineer. He's an innovative engineering, IT, and management specialist that is dedicated to boosting all areas of operations and business automation. Um, Bob is a driven leader with proven track record of enhancing operations by conducting in-depth, impactful results. Is talented at developing strategies and communications to help businesses reach and engage their target audiences. So I don't know if you, because I follow Bob on Twitter a lot, and Bob, he talks a lot about cloud services and the use of AWS and Azure, and that's actually the first place I met him before, and then met him again through Emmanuel. So without further ado, we're going to be having Bob now. So Bob, thank you so much for coming in here to to grace our event today. We're all excited and we cannot wait to have you here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys. I just want to confirm, can everybody hear me though? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear.
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Fine.
All right, thank you. Today, my name is Bob. I'll just probably do a bit of introduction myself, and probably just a backstory to inspire us as well to understand that this journey. This is actually a journey, not and it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? And so it has everything to do with growth, with taking it a step at a time, and just going through the whole journey a step at a time. And so my name is Bob. I actually started off as a front-end web developer. Yeah, so I think I did that for about a year before delving into the world of cloud engineering and its awesomeness. And started off with a scholarship from Google where I was exposed to cloud engineering, go an internship with Microsoft, where I used Azure, um, also a community builder with AWS. I was also a cloud tutor with Udacity, and a DevOps engineer with several companies, Seamless HR, several companies, and even currently an interning with Nethermind blockchain company. And so, of course, this experience is what has probably given me the privilege to be able to present this to you guys. And before I continue, I would like to appreciate Emmanuel. I'd like to appreciate I'd like to appreciate Paul. Paul has been awesome. Emmanuel has been awesome in piecing these things together for us to be able to um, have this for you guys. And so I'm just going to get started because if you see right through, I'm sorry, just give me a minute, please. So yeah, if you see right through the just the page that we are on right now, you would see that the theme for or the topic for today's event is crafting your digital identity, the art of building a powerful portfolio, and it's quite awesome because I like the word, I like why the theme was called the art, because it's actually an art. Building a portfolio is an art. I've had the privilege to interview people and also to be interviewed, and I know that you might be good, you might be a good engineer, you might be an excellent engineer, and then your portfolio might say opposite of what you are. Your portfolio can say the total opposite of what you are. So you've had experience working with several projects, working on several teams, learning several things. But if your portfolio does not reflect that which you have learned, that which you have been able to acquire over the period that you've been learning, then it's more or less null and void, because there's no way to prove that you have that experience. There's no way to prove that you have that capacity to be able to. At the end of the day, everybody is trying to get a job, right? Everybody's trying to build projects. Everybody is trying to make money, right? Nobody's going to pay you money for not seeing a proof of something that you do, something that you are capable of doing, and something that you can bring on board, to the team. And so they only pay you money in exchange for your services. Now, how do I show them that I can offer the services I claim to have, or the skills I came to have? How can I offer it to them? And that is where I'm good. This is what I'm going to be majorly talking about today. And I hope you really find this fascinating. And you guys can ask questions in the comment section as well, even as I continue, and would also definitely come back to it at the end of the session. And so these are the things that we'll be going through, through today. And we'll be looking at what is the cloud, who is this event created for, certifications, certification, skills, or both. Building a portfolio, what projects can I do, job opportunities that are available for you, limitations as a self-taught cloud engineer as well, and then questions. And so I'm going to go to what a cloud is. So a cloud predominantly is a like it's written right there. It says it refers to a network of remote servers that store, manage, deliver data and application over the internet. So I'm just going to just re-emphasize that. So first thing is that it is remote, and then the other thing is that, or the other key part of this definition, it is that it's mainly focuses on data and application. Data and application. That's, I can say that that's the core of everything we do. Everything we do as cloud engineers, everything we even do as software engineers. It's the core is data and applications. That's why you see that if you as a front-end developer, if you write the code, you are writing an application. As a database administrator, if you are managing the data that is being imputed by a user, that makes you, that means that you are managing and storing this data, and then you can retrieve them at intervals. And so, because we have a whole lot to talk about, I'm just going to if you have questions, please, you can do well to ask. And so now the question is, because I like to take these things from a perspective that we can thoroughly understand, and why we need to do what we need to do, and why is this event even put together. In fact, AWS is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, cloud provider today. What solution were they trying to solve, when they started off, the company Amazon in the first place? And one of the key things and the advantages that the cloud provides over the regular and traditional on-premise infrastructure is, number one, scalability, cost effectiveness, accessibility, reliability, and flexibility. Now, somebody will tell me about how does the cloud solve scalability. Now, I always paint a picture of the servers, of course, like I explained in the last slide of what a cloud is. I always paint a picture of the cloud to be, just see them as laptops, or as a PC that is somewhere that you don't that you only have access to through the internet. So that's just the PC. Now imagine I've seen a company where they run their database on an SSD on a laptop. So one of the key things that they do is that they cannot close the laptop, because immediately they close the laptop, it means that the laptop is going to sleep, which also means that that database is going to sleep, and there will be no access. So how do you solve the problem where, okay, in case where the storage of that laptop is filled up, how do you scale it? How do you scale it with zero or minimal downtime? Now those are the issues that were occurring, because it means that if my, let's say I use a laptop now, if my the SSD on my laptop is full, it means I have to probably remove the SSD and then replace the SSD. Now the time it will take for me to remove it and replace it and transfer all my data from the old one to the new one is going to cause a whole lot of downtime. And this was happening in the traditional IT infrastructure, where they, in case where they've used up capacity, they needed to go, and they can't even use that one, so they either add to it, so they have to go to the I would say to the to where they are going to purchase this inventory and then attach it to these things or add it to it. And of course, you see that hassle and bustle, the downtime that comes with it. It causes, it costs money, it costs everything, and it costs time. And those are the solutions that the cloud began to provide. Now, the next thing is cost effectiveness. Now, because cloud is so awesome in the fact that I only need to pay for what I use when I use it. I only need to pay for what I use when I use it. Some of us, we have laptops of 1 terabyte. We have laptops of, I keep using laptop because I want us to get a clear picture of what the cloud is. So, so we have laptops of 1 terabyte, we have laptops of 2 terabytes, but probably since the day you've been using the laptop, you've only used 20 gig of that laptop. Now, you have to buy the whole laptop, the whole space of 1 terabyte, and you are only utilizing 20 gigabytes of that space. Now, that is not effective, and that is not cost effective as well, because you, first of all, you don't know how much data you're going to be consuming, how much resources you're going to be consuming. Maybe that's why you bought the 2 terabyte. Now, cloud and AWS has come to solve all of those, thoughts, hassle, and bustle that we have to do in acquiring in acquisition of resources that we use to spin up our applications and even data. And so AWS says that, you know what, instead of you buying 1 terabyte that you would only use only 1% of it, why not request for 1% of what you want to use, and I'm going to provide you that 1%, and you are only going to pay me for that 1%. So in as much as you don't, and anytime you need more resources, I can always provide it to you instantly without having to cause any downtime in your application. Now, those were the things that the cloud came to solve. Now, for accessibility issue as well. So it means that I can be anywhere in the world and I can access these servers at any point in time. So I can wake up by 3 a.m. and I feel like just spinning up an EC2 instance, or I feel like just spinning up I feel like just writing some Lambda functions. I feel like just spinning up some database to just orchestrate some solutions. Now I can do it from the comfort of my room. In fact, I can be on my toilet seat and I can be doing that. Now that is something that the cloud came to provide, because traditionally you would have to be very close to where the server is and connect via LAN for you to be able to access these things, And of course, it reduces productivity a lot. Maybe I'm someone now that I don't work predominantly during the day. Probably I work during the night. I'm very, very much productive during the night. So it means that they'll probably sack me after 2 days of employing me, because I'll probably be very unproductive during the day. Now, accessibility is something that the cloud has come to, solve. And then reliability. Now, I just made mention of the fact where you've consumed, and made use of all the resources that you purchased, probably because you are using a traditional.
Sorry, I think we are not hearing you. Can't still hear you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right, so at the point where I don't know where I stopped, but I'm just going to probably skip to the next one, which is flexibility. Now, the cloud provides us with a wide range of applications and services as well, to be able to cater for different business needs. Now, I want to integrate AI. I want to integrate serverless functions. I want to integrate several services and orchestrations that are there in the cloud. Now, because these things have been readily provided by the cloud providers, and I only need to integrate it with my code. It's easy for me to develop an application within minutes. Within minutes. You don't need to start telling the development team to start writing a code to build this solution, because you need to do this and this and that. I think one of the key things there is, like, let's say you want to integrate a Face ID for maybe your application. And now you don't necessarily have to go and tell your developers that would spend another extra 6 months or even a year trying to develop that solution before integrating with your application. Now, because the AWS and even other cloud providers have provided this for us, and then we can easily integrate it to our application within minutes. And of course, it has increased productivity at large, and it has increased all that we can achieve even with our applications. And so now, this is where we come in as cloud engineers, as the varieties or every flavor of a cloud engineer. Now, this is where we come in. Now, we are responsible for doing all of those things I just defined in the last slide. Everything that has to do with managing, monitoring, orchestrating, implementing, retrieving data and application. Now, we are responsible for that. Now, because people really do not understand, or people really do not know what cloud engineers do. So they be like, that's why you see in so many job roles, somebody is starting a company, and then the only people that they put as or the only vacancy that they put out there is front-end engineer, back-end engineer, and probably QA. Now, until they start the company and then they realize that, wow, this is actually beyond the scope of what we can do, what we can handle. And then they start looking for cloud engineers, DevOps engineers to be able to help them orchestrate these things. And so one of the key things that we do as cloud engineers is to be able to manage this infrastructure, maintain this infrastructure, build this infrastructure, and ensure that the infrastructure uptime is very, very close to 100, if not 100 at all times. And so this is what a cloud engineer is. So that is what the cloud is, and we as cloud engineers, we are responsible for managing, for securing, for orchestrating, for designing, for building and maintaining this cloud infrastructure. Trust me, it is no small joke. In fact, I'm going to give you a sneak peek into the life of a cloud engineer. Now, a sneak peek into the life of a cloud engineer is a life that does not sleep. It's a life that does not sleep. And yeah, of course, you'd probably be looking like, I just want to do 9 to 5 and go and sleep. Or, I just want to, once it's 5 o'clock, I don't want to open my laptop again. I'm sure some of us that have had experiences, in production environments can tell that, there can be a case probably because of a bug being pushed, or there's a downtime in the region, and then your application seemingly goes down. Now, if it's a fintech company that you have to be up 247, or let's say you are a company that provides solutions that spans across different time zones. So it means that your applications needs to be up at all times. So even at 3 a.m. and then the application is down, cloud engineers would have to jump on call to make sure that they troubleshoot that issue and be able to resolve that issue. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm only trying to give you a sneak bit into what we do as cloud engineers, how much of a responsibility we have. So it means that whatever things that front-end engineers are doing, back-end engineers are doing, product designers are doing, all of those things, as beautiful as they seem on the surface level, if the foundation is shaking just a little bit, every of those things will crumble. And that is why we are very, very integral to every company, every software company these days. You can think of any company that every software, every website, every application that you can think of right now. Just know that there is nowhere in heaven that they cannot do without the cloud. There is, unless, even if they are full blown on-prem solution, they will still require certain things even from a cloud engineer due to your experience. And so before I go into other key things I need to talk about today, now I need to tell you who are these, who is this event created for? Who are those that should not miss this as much as possible? Who are those that are going to learn so much from this? Number one, we have the tech newbies. You are just delving into the world of tech. You really do not have a path you are trying to. You don't have a path that you are following. You are a bit lost. You don't know even what cloud engine. You don't know what cloud engineering is. You don't even know. You probably don't want to do full-blown cloud engineering. Probably there's another flavor that you want to do, and then you really do not have an idea about it. Just wait. I promise you, you're going to learn so much in this event, and I want you to stay to the end, because till the end it's going to be so packed. Now, intermediate engineers, probably you've started learning already, but you need some guidance, you need some mentorship, you need some proper alignment to your path. I remember when I was learning on my own at those points in time. Sometimes I got tired because it looks as if I didn't really know what I was learning. Like, I was just learning one tool or the other, and then at the end of the day, I was just lost. So in this event, you're going to be getting proper perspective into what to actually do, proper path to follow, and how you can get so much from this. So engineers also transitioning into cloud. I've seen so many front end. Like I just told you, I was a front end engineer, and I transitioned into being a cloud engineer. So trust me when I say that this is going to be insightful for you. No matter what engineering you are transitioning from, I've helped people that transition from nursing into cloud engineering. I've helped people that transition from studied Yoruba in school, into engineering, into cloud engineering. I've helped people that, and they were able to pass certification, get jobs today. And trust me when I tell you that this is going to be so packed. And IT managers, let's say you're an IT manager, you are looking to take the next big step as regards your infrastructure, as regards your orchestration in your company, and you really want to get an idea of what the cloud is about. How does it benefit you at all? And how are you going to implement these things? Just stay, and then you're also going to be learning quite a lot about this. Even as business stakeholders, you're in the marketing department, you're in the finance department, and you really want to see how can implementing cloud solutions help the business. How can it help our business at large? Because at the end of the day, every business, once they look at the checkbook, or once they look at their balance sheets, or their, I don't know what they call those things, or trial balance, one of the things that they want to see is that is it the credit side has to be greater than the debit side, right? So the more no, is it credit has to be, I don't know, but I mean they want more income than they are spending, more income than they are that they are spending on expenditures, and that is what cloud has come to being able to solve when we talked about cost optimization. And students, you just want to learn. You've been hearing about cloud, and you really do not even have any idea about it. Join me on this journey that I take you to. And so so the next thing there is going to be building a portfolio. And building a portfolio is an art, and I listed out these things. I made sure I put them out as bullets there. Now, building a strong portfolio as a cloud engineer is crucial to your skills and expertise to potential employers. Like I said earlier on, at the end of the day, when we learn these skills, we're not learning it for fun. When I hear people say they learn certain things for fun, I mean, I don't know, especially when it comes to skills like this that are lucrative. We don't just learn these things for fun. Let me not say, of course, it is fun to us when we learn it, but we don't just learn it for fun. One of the things that we learn it for is also that we can, via those skills, we can be able to work on world-changing projects and even help businesses achieve their goals, their main objectives, which is to make money, right? So if you want to help a business to make money, several companies are constantly looking for those that can help them make more money. So imagine you saying that, oh, I have a skill, that can help you make more money, that can help you reduce your spendings and the amount you spend on infrastructure, the amount you spend on keeping the business running. Of course, they want to grab you as soon as possible. And that is why I love cloud engineering so much. Now, number one thing there is to define your target. Define your target audience. And so as a cloud engineer, our target audience are not necessarily people in the market. So you would not put your portfolio on a banner and go and put it in Yaba market. That is you doing it wrongly. Or let's say you go to kindergarten and then go and start selling yourself to them. So one of the key things, you must define who your target audience are. One of the things I've learned so much as regards putting yourself out there, which we are still going to talk about, is that okay, I'll probably talk about that when I get to building an online presence. So the next thing is to select relevant projects. So now that you know your target audience, these are the people that would need my skills, right? You define those target audience. Now, this company, I think they would require my skills. These companies will require my skill. This person works in this field, so this person would require my skill, or this brand are going to require my skill. Now, how are they going to know that I have the skills that I claim to have? It is by projects. Please, you cannot tell me just by word of mouth that, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that, without any proof. Bonaba will say no evidence. You just explain. So one of the key things that you must understand is that you have to carefully select the projects that are relevant to what you are trying to achieve. So me as a cloud engineer, I have no business with writing HTML and CSS code. I mean, for a start, maybe you want to delve into that area further, maybe along the line. Of course, you can learn HTML, CSS, all of those things, JavaScript, of course, and probably, but I would not focus so much on a project that requires that I begin to use CSS, because you probably never even use it all through your lifetime or all through your career as a cloud engineer. You might probably never use it. Now, you don't want to start with marketing skill or start doing UI UX, start designing web pages, because that skill that you are learning or that project that you are doing is not going to help you as a cloud engineer. So that is why I put it there as selecting relevant skills. It has to be relevant to the portfolio you are trying to build. Now, after selecting relevant skills, and then probably you started to build these skills. Now, one of the things that I have come to understand, or I have come to know about several people that learn cloud engineering, that learn science skills, not even cloud engineering, the software world, is that they're so lazy to document what we have done. So you do it, is running, is fine, and then you're like, oh, nice, and then you get off the laptop, and then you shut down and terminate all the instances, and then in your mind you are feeling fulfilled, but you are actually not fulfilled yet until you document this project thoroughly. You can say I put the word thoroughly first, because in your documentation you have to have first project in overview. What is the project about? What are you trying to do? If I open a web page now, what am I going to understand as what I'm going to read all through this project or all through this project? So the project overview. Number two, the technical challenge. Now, what are the challenges that is being faced as to why we want to orchestrate this solution or implement this solution? So you have to define the technical challenge. Then the next one, you have to implement the solution. You have to implement the solution, and then the next one, you have to state your project outcome. At the end of the day, at the end of your project, what has this project you just did, what has it been able to solve? What has it been able to do? What has it been able to achieve at the end of the day? Was it able to solve the challenge that you stated in point number 2? If yes, then all of these things should be thoroughly documented, and this is where the start of your portfolio is. Trust me, this is the start of your portfolio. Now, the next thing there is to highlight skills and certifications. Of course, there's some of us that, if I check through our CVs, like I told you, I've been able to interview so many people. And then you check through their CVs and they just submit experience and there is no skill. I can't see you having a skill that is patterned or tailored to what I need. Because one of the key things I'm going to look at when I open your CV is let me see the skills that this person has. Has this person ever worked with EC2 before? Has this person been able to work with VPCs before? Has this person been able to work with Helm charts? Has this person been able to work with Kubernetes? Has this person been able to work with this tool, this, that? And this is how you are able to showcase your skill. And now certifications. Now certifications are a proof or an evidence that what you claim, the skill that you claim to have, you actually have it. By, of course, they're going to test you through these things. But we are going to, maybe in the next, I think it's in the next slide, where we are going to actually be debating about, certifications or skill. Sorry, I think I actually skipped one slide. It's not in this slide. So just give me a minute, please. I'm trying to present this guy. Right. All right, sorry for the well. I'm not sure how this got missing here, but I have a place where I asked certification. I'm just gonna go to the top so that I probably missed that in my slide. This point number 3, certification, skills, or both. And it's just something I want us to, discuss about, because I've seen so many people come to ask me, Bob, I want to learn cloud engineering, and I feel like I need to get certification. I need to get Microsoft certification. I need to get AWS. I want to write, AWS cloud architect, solutions architect. I want to write this. I want to write that. And of course, those things are brilliant to do. Those things are very, very impressive landmarks on your resume, but like I was explaining before I came to this slide, because I need to talk on this before I actually continue on that part. Before you can actually get a certification, a certification is a proof or an evidence that the skill that you are writing the certification for, you have it and you can actually showcase it anywhere. So for me to prioritize, when I put them in order of priority, I'll put acquiring the skill first before getting the certification. Trust me, it is easier to pass certifications when you have acquired the skill than it is to get certification before acquiring the skill. So please and please and please don't do the mistake of running after certifications without getting the proper skill. You have to get the skill and then do the certification. In fact, it makes your certification, it makes the exam easier because you have done it, you have used it severally, that it becomes a part of you, that if they wake you up from the night and tell you, oh, what security groups enables SSH access, you know it from the top of your head because you've done it and used it over and over again. So please and please acquire skills first before writing certifications. And I would never say that, don't acquire skill, acquire certification, or don't acquire certification, acquire skill. So some certifications I've gotten, some opportunities I've gotten, some skills I've gotten have actually given me a platform to be able to even tell them what skill I have. So you see certain companies and will tell you that, before you can even be considered for this role or for this opportunity, you must have this certification, CCAD certification, AWS Solutions Architect certification, Microsoft this certification and that. Now, it means by automatically, if you don't have those certifications, you are not qualified to even be interviewed. So it is during interview that you will be able to showcase your skill. But certifications are really important, especially for companies that, are particular about this, about this. So I'm just going to continue. The next thing there is showcase your GitHub repositories. Now, I don't. Some people will tell me, but Bob, I think I'm going to want to share my screen on this one, and just to show you, especially my own repository, because I need to show us that this is really an extremely important as a cloud engineer. And so, just give me a minute. Let me just go. Yeah, sure. And I'll tell you, I'm going to give you real life experience about how my GitHub repository has helped me get certain opportunities. Let me see. Yeah. So I hope you can see my screen. And so now, if you look through my repository, this is my repository. I have 65 repositories. I don't know if you guys can see my repository. But if you can see my repository, you see I have 65 repositories. Now, 65 repositories are not, it's not a repository of me just playing around. This is to showcase the skills that I have. This picture is old, please. I'm finer than this now. So this picture, so this is to show you, what you've been able to do, the projects you've been able to implement. And I will tell you that for a fact, this project right here was one of the projects that helped me get my internship with Nethermind, because I was able to show via the project that I did that I have the experience working with blockchain. I have experience working, with GitHub workflows, CI/CD pipelines. Now, this is how they are going to see that, oh, you actually have worked and then you've been able to push this thing. So we are not just going to know it because you tell us. We're not going to just believe because you tell us that, oh, you have done it. No, we want to see that you have done it. And one way to see that is by your repositories as well. You see that I have Terraform VPC. Now, this is a Terraform script that I wrote, to be able to show that I can actually deploy a VPC in AWS using Terraform. And yes, so these are the things that you need to be able to show us in your repository. So anytime we open through your repository, we should be able to see that you are able to do these things. And so I'm just going to go back to sharing this slide now. And so the next thing on my slide is building an online presence. Now, it is very important that you build an online presence. And some of us, I tell people that most of the opportunities I've gotten, I got them from Twitter. I mean, Emmanuel is here and can testify to all of those. I have a couple of my friends here, or my mentees that I have met, and you would understand that there is so much power in social media than cruise and vibes. I'm not saying it's not fine to cruise and vibes. Of course, it's fine to cruise and vibes, but don't cruise and vibes away your life. There's a way that you can, everything about your social media is just cruise. 30BG versus Wizkid FC. That's the only thing that you do online. The only thing you do online is 30BG versus Wizkid FC, is Ashake versus Sheyi vibes. That's the only thing that we know you for. online, that means you're not serious. Yes, you don't know what you are doing yet. So one of the key things that you must do is that you have to build an online presence. And I'll forever be grateful for one of the one of something that my mentor told me when I was, starting off into the cloud. He said, Bob, go on LinkedIn, go and search for cloud engineer, DevOps engineers, platform engineers, SREs, connect with all of them. And that's what I did. So I went on LinkedIn and I went to connect with all of them. I did the same thing on Twitter. I did the same thing on my Facebook, as at that time when I was still using Facebook. But I mean, majorly on Twitter and on LinkedIn, right? I made sure that the people that I was interacting with, the people that I was positioning myself with or to, are actually like people that are in the same space that I am. Now, they don't just have to be cloud engineers. They can be front-end engineers. They can be product managers. They can be, CEOs, CTOs, CFOs. Just make sure that you are intentional about the people that you have in your space. That is what I'm trying to emphasize on. Be intentional. Don't just follow anybody anyhow. Be intentional about the people that you follow. Try as much as possible. Put yourself in their faces. Comment on the posts. And I want to tell us this thing today, and as a task for everyone in this event. Do the same thing for yourself. Go on LinkedIn, search for the keywords that are related to your space. Go on Twitter, go on Facebook, go on Instagram, go on TikTok. Do the same thing for all your social media platforms. Deliberately and intentionally follow these accounts. Now you will see that as time goes on, the things that you will be seeing on your timeline, the things that you'll be seeing on your page will be things that are relating to the skill that you are trying to build. And then you can learn from them, you can contribute. And via your contribution, you will be able to get opportunities. I've seen somebody, my name on Twitter is actually Azure and AWS boy. That's my name on Twitter, Azure and AWS boy. Now, so many people have reached out to me on Twitter, people I've not even spoken to before. And then they said, Bob, I saw a job that has Azure. I think it's something related to something that you do. Do you think you can do it? And I'm like, yes, I can do it. In fact, this is what I am born for. This is what I am here for. Now, it is by virtue of me being intentional about my online presence. That's why I was able to get those opportunities. That's why I was able to connect with those people. The people I followed, the people I talked to, the people I engage, are people that are able, because trust me, it is easier to get a job via networking than via job application these days. And it's just real life. It is easier to get a job via networking than with job applications, because in job applications you have like hundreds and probably thousands of people applying to that same job. But by virtue of me networking with a CTO, a CFO, an engineer on the team, they can easily say, Bob, I have an opportunity here and I think you're actually the best fit for that opportunity. There's no need to go through the interview phase. I know your capacity. I mean, I've been seeing your post online. I've been seeing your post on your Twitter, on your LinkedIn, everywhere. I've been seeing your documentations, and I think you actually be a great fit for this job. And then they just send you contract like that. I've had opportunities like that severally. Of course, the next thing is seek feedback and refine. Please always make sure that you are open to corrections, because you see, there is one thing they say: pride goes before downfall. It is the same thing in this field. Once you think you know everything, then you're already on your way to spiral down. Then the next thing is keep your portfolio updated. If possible, get a website, or get a website that can, where one can easily access your portfolio. I have a website where my portfolio I built when I was doing front end. Thank God I built it then. So it's more or less a website that I hosted on Netlify, where I showcase all my work. So if somebody asks me, Bob, send me your portfolio, I just send the person my website link. And then the person just goes there, look at the projects I've been able to work on, look at my skill, look at my competencies, and then I'm able to, just go through the process without having to send a CV or not. I just need to send my website link. And so, yeah, this is how you can properly build your portfolio. And I hope this slide will be made available for those that are registered so that they can, take note of these things as well. Now, the question of what projects can I do? Now, I've listed here several projects that you can do, and I'm just going to open like 2 or 3 of these. I hope this would allow me click. Okay, cool. It's not allowing me click. I'm just going to copy from here. I'm just going to open 2 or 3 of these projects, and I'm just going to share with us certain things that are going to help us on this, that I've actually like put in this project here that can actually like help us really well. Just give me a minute. Let me just copy the link and then I'll share my screen. You must understand that uh, doing projects is a no-brainer, and so you have to do projects. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm just going to show us. I'm just going to show us. Let me just show the entire screen. Let me just show the entire screen. All right, screen one, share. All right, so if you see here that I actually, so this is 90 days of DevOps. So you want to get started with DevOps, you want to get started. You don't know what point you're going to get started from, and so this is a well curated learning path that, trust me, look at. It's not like you're going to cover everything. You are not going to cover everything in this. You're not going to know everything about DevOps with this one, but you are going to learn very, very well from it. So you can just check on Google in case this is not given to you or you want to check right now. You can just check on Google and check 90 days of DevOps, and then you'll see a whole lot of projects here, a whole lot of learning materials for you as well, that you can actually learn from and actually like get a whole lot from. I got a whole lot from this thing. You can see there are projects there that you can do. There are examples there that you can do. There are things that you can learn. So just take it a step at a time. If possible, give yourself the same challenge that you want to do 90 days of DevOps. And trust me, by the time you get to the 90th day, you definitely be so much, you'll be so good with some of these tools. Now, one of the key things that I always tell people to build is a 3-tier architecture deployment. It is very important, and you can do this on AWS. Now, I am particular about Terraform because Terraform is the leading IAC tool now. They are the leading infrastructure as a code tool. It's a very, very paramount and very crucial tool or skill that you need to have as a DevOps engineer. So this kind of like covers several things, even in the cloud and with Terraform. How to create AWS subnets, how to create load balancers, how to draw an architectural diagram, the components you are going to be working on. Trust me, if you do this project and you have all of these things on your skill sets, trust me, it is enough to get you a job. I'm not even lying. That you can create a VPC, you can create subnets, create private subnets, auto scaling groups, security group, load balancers, private EC2, public EC2, all of these things, attaching policies using IAM, and you are able to do these things using Docker and Terraform. Trust me, you are on your way to becoming a really good engineer. This is also shell script here that is being used in this project. So in case you are looking for a great way to start your learning or your skill, just make sure you check out these projects that I've listed here. I'm not going to waste too much of our time on this on that project. So I think the slide is going to be made available for us. I'm not sure, but if it's going to be made available, you can easily just get the links to this project and you're going to learn a whole lot. And one of the things I want to mention is that please don't be scared of running resources. Yes, I know that some of us are scared because unlike front end and back end, where you can easily do it on your laptop without acquiring any cost, when it comes to cloud, there's no way you will acquire costs. And in fact, they charge in dollars. I'm not even going to lie to you. They don't charge in naira, they charge in dollars. But don't be scared. I mean, if you are registering AWS for the very first time, I think they give you some resource time. So you have like maybe a couple hours of EC2 runtime. You have, they give you runtime. They give you like a starter pack to start without acquiring any cost. And so one of the things that you must understand is that there's no way you want to be a very good cloud engineer that you would not spend. I'm not going to lie to you. But of course, one of the things that we do is that we spend prudently. So after using a resource, please terminate it instantly. If you know you're not going to be using it again, terminate it instantly. Because I've had somebody acquire $1,000 worth of debt just from running an RDS instance that the person did not delete. So please let that not be your case. So that your last card, the money you're supposed to use to have dinner, AWS will just siphon it from your account. So in case for you not to be in that same space, for you not to be in that same situation, please ensure that you know immediately you are done implementing your project, you've documented properly, and you know that you're no longer going to be using it. Please delete those those resources. And that is why Terraform is even very important, because with just one command you can delete every of those resources without having to forget, because it's possible that you forget one. You just, maybe you deleted this, deleted that, and then you just forgot one. That's why Terraform is like really important. And then job opportunities. Job opportunities. Um, you know, people tell me that, I tell people that as a cloud engineer, when you learn cloud engineering, in fact, your job is not just a cloud engineer. You have a job. See, all of these things here all of these things here are job opportunities for, and I didn't even list out every one of them. You still have like SRE, you have platform engineers. I think somebody, you have platform engineers, and I don't know if you want to take a screenshot of this, you can take a screenshot of this. Now, this is to show you that what you are currently learning, or this part you are currently on, is not limited to just cloud engineering. Look at now, like right now as I am, I can apply for all of these roles at the same time. All of these roles at the same time, because their skills and their skills are so interconnected. As a cloud architect, if I begin to learn AWS, and then I begin to go into architecting solutions, designing solutions. I can apply a job as a cloud architect. I've worked as a cloud support engineer for Microsoft before. So I can have, and now I'm a cloud DevOps engineer. I've worked as cloud support engineer. I've worked as cloud solutions engineer. I've worked as cloud DevOps engineer. In fact, I was a cloud DevOps tutor for Udacity. I've worked as a cloud networking engineer. I've worked as a cloud security engineer. I've seen people that I mentored being able to work as technical writers for big companies. I've seen people be able to work as developer relations, right from just acquiring a cloud engineering skill. I've seen several roles of infrastructure engineer. I've been able to work with Ford as an infrastructure engineer previously. DevSecOps is one of the key roles too these days that are rampant and everywhere. If you want to look into working for Grafana or Prometheus or monitoring tools, and or Nethermind or blockchain companies that are heavy on monitoring, you can work also as a observability engineer. You can work as a release engineer. That's, you're handling pipelines and all of those things. You can work as a release engineer. You can work as an SRE, site reliability engineer, ensuring that the site, the application is reliable, sustainable, and even very much efficient. And you can also work as a platform engineer, maintaining platforms and all of these things. You can work as an admin, cloud administrator. So these are the range, and not limited to these things. These are the range of job opportunities that are available if you would learn just cloud engineering. Imagine, I only have to learn cloud engineering to have this wealth of opportunities to be able to apply to these jobs. Now, trust me. Now, after this event today, I want you to do something for me. Go on LinkedIn and then search for all of these job titles individually. Look at the skills and the responsibilities under each and every one of them, and ask yourself, do I have these skills? Do I not have these skills? As a cloud engineer, and if you thoroughly have learned cloud engineer, you've acquired the skill, you see that you can apply to all of these skills listed here. And I'm not even joking. You can apply to, if you are so good with documentation, you can apply to as a technical writer. And I hope you'll be able to utilize this very key information. Now, because most of us are self-taught, I just needed to add this here, because at some point in my life also, or some point in my career, which of course I still am, I'm a self-taught cloud engineer. I've been a self-taught cloud engineer, and we always have certain limitations, because some of us, we've learned, we've read, we've studied, but we don't practice. Or there's nowhere to practice. So you've read so much. In fact, you've read all the whole AWS book that there is to in this world. But because you don't even have the required funds to be able to spin up those resources, there's a gap there. There's a limitation there. Because you know that if you spin up RDS for more than 1 hour or for more than 1 day, you know that your money is going. So it means that there are limitations when it comes to practicing this thing, and it is really understandable. Of course, the next one there is formal industry recognition, because if you don't, now imagine you're a self-taught cloud engineer, and then in your resume you just put there is no experience, like in working with any company, and you just put self-taught self-taught cloud engineer. Nobody's going to employ you. Nobody's going to employ you, unless somebody just wants to take a chance on you. So one of the key things is that, of course, it's hard, because the work we do is very critical to the whole business. Somebody can push just one thing, and then the whole business, the whole application can crumble. And I'm not even lying to you. It has happened before. Somebody just made a single change to our infrastructure, and every of our clients began to experience downtime. We began to troubleshoot, began to sweat. Now, that is why people don't really take they don't really employ people that are juniors. You rarely see junior roles for cloud engineers or for DevOps engineers or for these roles I've stated. Most of them will say, we want senior, we want senior, we want senior, because of how critical this part of the whole infrastructure or the whole software architecture is. And that is why one is really careful. And that's why I'll tell you, look for internships, join internships, apply for internships, apply for mentorship programs, go for conferences, register for conferences, Microsoft Ignite, AWS reInvent. They give you vouchers. Use these vouchers, make use of this voucher, build things, participate in boot camps like we currently have. I mean, that was a wonderful idea. Participate in boot camps, be able to build one or two things, put it in your resume there that I worked as a cloud engineer or as a DevOps engineer in this boot camp, in these things, and these were the things that we are able to build. Now, this is how we are recognized in the industry, by the things that we can prove to them that we have done. And then keeping up with rapidly evolving technology. Now, because I'm a self-taught, trust me, somebody was was tweeting something yesterday. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday? And the person was like, sometimes he sees certain things after like 2 years of learning this thing or even working hands-on with this thing, and there are still certain things that he does not even know. There are certain tools that he does not even know that are being used these days. And it's going to bring me to my next point that first of all, please don't focus so much on tools. Some of us want to learn all the tools. You want to learn Grafana, Prometheus, Datadog, AWS, Cloud, Azure. You want to learn this, you want to learn that. So many tools. And then you end up seeing that you're actually not solid in any of them. Please focus on the foundations. And that's why some of the core skills I would encourage people to acquire is Git. Know how to use Git commands. Know how to understand networking in cloud. Know how to spin up certain resources in the cloud, and be able to use Docker, be able to use Terraform. What else? Be able to use Terraform, Docker, and monitoring to like Prometheus, Grafana. It's as simple as those tools are. Just learn those ones and be solid in them. Once you learn those ones and be solid in them, you can always expand. You can always grow out of those ones. But those ones are, I would say, are the core part. Linux as well. They are the core part of a cloud engineer. But other ones can, grow out of those ones. Access to networking opportunities as well. One of the key things that, because you are not constantly in the environment where or in a company where these opportunities are shared, networking opportunities are available, it's always hard for us to network. That's why I encourage people, go for conferences, attend conferences, and then of course structured learning and theory. And I think that's the end of my slide. And then you can ask me any questions. Also, do well to follow me on all social media platforms. If you have any questions as well, do well to follow me. I will definitely try as much as possible to follow back. And if you have any question, just tag me. I would also be able to respond to these questions. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much for that awesome presentation. I really learned over a lot. I cannot even express how much I've learned, how much I've taken away from this section. And I'm very sure a lot of us, even in the community, are already even picking up one point or the other. And I've kind of I've actually taken something as related to what we've discussed about today. Thank you very much. It was really a pleasure sharing that knowledge with us. And yeah, I think we'll not take that for granted. Yeah, thank you very much. I would leave it now to Paul or Fazia. I think we have questions first for now. We'll be going to the comment sections. I've been seeing questions buzzing up and down. A lot of people are actually interested and really want to get clarification on one to another. I'll quickly take the first one I'm seeing here. Yeah, so the one from Oyedika Sams. The question says, what is the career trajectory of a cloud engineer and how can it be differentiated from other cloud careers like DevOps, SRE, and platform engineering? I don't know if you want to take that now.
All right, sure. I can just take that just in a minute. And so,
All right.
what is the cloud, trajectory of a cloud engineer, and how can it be differentiated from other cloud careers like DevOps, SRE, and platform? Now, I think cloud engineering, cloud a cloud engineer, I don't think there's so much difference, of course, in the skills required and in the skills that are being used or leveraged by these various roles that you just specified. As an SRE, it's just more or less your focus, or more or less what you are focused on. Like now with SRE, you are focused on availability at all times. And so it's not more or less it is different. They are not different skill sets. They are still the same foundational skill sets, but more or less, okay, this is what I focus on right now. And so like cloud security engineers and all of those things, like I work as a DevOps engineer, I've worked as cloud engineers and SRE. So it's more or less what's my focus, rather than their differences. So as a cloud engineer, you're focused more on the things that happen in the cloud, right? And so that's why you're a cloud, and you might not necessarily need to have experience with on-prem. But as a DevOps engineer, you need to have experience with on-prem, and because of integrations here and there. As an SRE, you need to have experience with on-prem. As a platform engineer, I don't necessarily need to have experience with even core infrastructure or a core part of Linux and all of those things, because I'm more or less just working on the platform of what a cloud engineer and DevOps is. So I would say that they are the same trajectory. They are more or less the same trajectory, the same path, but it's more or less about focus. What path do you focus on at the end of the day? Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you. I think that really hits the nail on the head for that particular question. I don't know if there's any other question in the chat. I'm trying to scroll to the chat to see if there's any other questions. Oh, okay. I'm seeing one still by the same individual, Onyedika Sams. Is saying, really interested in that Terraform project. I think he's kind of like interested in the Terraform project you actually showed in the demo section. I don't know, probably be able to address that if he's going to get that, like a link to the project to work on or something like that.
I think it's on the slide. I don't know. Are you guys going to share the slides with them, or
Yeah, sure,
crap?
definitely.
Okay, I think it's on
Definitely.
the slide. Once you get the slide, you'll be able to access every of those projects.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, so we get the slides across to everyone that participated, so you could actually get those projects from the slide and work with them. So quickly to the next question from Love Oyewole. Can you give a roadmap for complete beginner?
I'm just going to scan through, because we don't really have so much time. I'm just going to scan through, and I actually have it pinned on my Twitter profile as well. If you go to my Twitter, I have it pinned on my Twitter profile, and I just gave a roadmap. Let me just read out. I'll just highlight what I think, what I believe from my experience to be the perfect roadmap for learning or moving into the cloud engineering space. And the first thing first is that you have to start with version control, because before you do anything on the cloud, you have to start with that. And then you have to understand what cloud, like we've already discussed here, so you don't need to probably go back to that. What cloud engineering is, who a cloud engineer is, what are the solutions they're trying to solve. After you've known that one and understood that one, you have to go into version control. After you learn version control, I always tell people, after you learn version control, try to learn Linux, because in fact, even at version control, you start using some Linux commands. So you learn Linux, then you choose a cloud provider that you want to learn. I tell people, don't try and learn all the cloud provider at the same time. Try and pick one first, be master of one. Don't just jump from GCP. You use GCP today, you use IBM tomorrow, you use DigitalOcean, you use AWS next tomorrow. No, stick to one. Get to understand so much about one. So you pick a cloud provider, get to understand basics. You can check out or take certifications on what do you call it now, on cloud practitioner. Yes, cloud practitioner is a course with AWS that gives you very much insight into understanding what goes on in AWS. Then you can go to networking fundamentals. Then you start looking into microservices, Then for microservices, that's when you should now enter Docker. If you don't understand microservices, don't enter Docker. I've seen so many people start with Docker and then before they don't even have an understanding of what microservices are. So learn microservices. What are microservices? What are they used for? Why was there a microservice in the first place? Why is that idea even there in the first place? Then you start learning Docker. After you learn Docker, I always advise people from learning Docker, then learn Terraform. Try and spin up resources as much as possible. And from Terraform, then go into CI/CD because CI/CD is really important as well. Automating processes. One of the key things that we do as cloud engineers, as DevOps, as all these flavors of cloud engineering, is that we want to automate so much process as much as possible. In fact, of course, I was discussing with my manager today. There's no way, there is no company in this world that can say that they have totally end-to-end automation. But guess what is our aim as cloud engineers is that we want to have end-to-end automation. So until that is achieved by anybody in this world, we are still striving towards that. Then observability, then probably programming language like Python or Bash scripting, then on and on and on like that. So I think that's just basically what that learning path is. And if you want to learn more about the learning path, you can go on my Twitter, check the pinned tweets. You definitely see a clear learning path there with resources that you can actually utilize as well.
Thank you very much for that answer. Thank you very much for that answer. Quick one. I think this is the last question I'll be taking. On an average, how long does it take to complete a project?
Completing a project is not something I can answer for you because it's dependent on you yourself. Like, do you how much time do you have to spend on it? What is the level of skill that you have? What's the level of skill that you have to be able to implement that task, and what time you have in your hand. So depending on the project as well, how broad is the project? Depending on how broad the project is, how extensive the project is. It's a simple project. I think at least from 30 minutes to as long as possible. It can take weeks, it can take months. I've had projects that have been on for months and we are still on it. So it can take years too. So depending on all of those things, I can't give you a definitive answer on how long, and I can't even give you an average on how long because depending on the project, the scope of the project, the challenge, and everything, that's how you're able to determine how long it will take for you to complete the project.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the session today. It was really, really insightful. There are a couple of other questions, but time is really fast spent. We really love to dive into other things and get to close on the session for today. Thank you once again very much for the section. It was really enlightening. It was really insightful. I'm very sure people that joined in and listening can actually testify as well to this particular fit. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
So quickly, moving on to the next item on the list. Fauzia and Paul will be handling that particular fit. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Emmanuel, and thank you very much, Bob. Thank you so much. We are grateful to have you. Thank you for answering all the questions. So yeah, as I said earlier, we'll be sending the slides to everyone after this meeting. So just try and join our community on WhatsApp or Meetup. We'll be sending a link to the slide across. So we'll be moving on now to talking about the project phase itself, right? So along this project phase, and we just want to speak a little about what we're going to do in our first project. So please understand that we've created these projects in such a way that with every project, it's increasing in its level of difficulty. Okay, so what I mean is project one and project two. Project two is basically going to be a little more challenging than project one. Okay, but we'll give you the necessary guidance and necessary materials to help you, achieve this and basically solve the challenges. So, Fauzia, please can you speak on the first projects?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I hope you have been having a very beautiful time. So, before now, we announced that we are starting our project phase where we are going to be having like mini boot camps. We're going to be having projects that can help you build your portfolio. And so I have the joy to let you know that we are starting with our very first project next week by God's grace. And this project is going to be on um, a static website using S3 and serving the contents from CloudFront. So, what we want to do is we want to host a static website on S3 here. Now, this is something that many of us are familiar with, and we also understand the fact that S3 is the cheapest way to host static website on what's it called, on AWS. So the static website is that website that has just read only functionality. So it's a good thing for blogs like so. So now we're going to be hosting this website on S3, and instead of having the content served directly from S3 all of the time, we are going to be serving the content through CloudFront. We're going to be serving from CloudFront. So this means that we're going to be putting CloudFront in front of our S3 bucket, and we are going to be using its caching functionality. So what is going to happen is that we are going to be setting something we call a time to live. These are some of the features that we are going to be exploring in this project, the time to live. So what's going to happen is when we set the time to live to 24 hours, for example, for 24 hours, the whenever users make requests, the request is not coming directly from the S3 bucket, it's coming from CloudFront, thereby reducing latency greatly because users are going to be getting responses from their own edge locations. And this is going to reduce the frequency of um, read requests to the S3 bucket itself. Now, after setting a time to leave, we're also going to be exploring the cache invalidation functionality, where we are going to invalidate some contents or all of the contents of our S3 bucket if we do not want the contents to be there for the duration we set in our time to leave. So we are going to see how this is used, why it is used, and how it is used. So we would like you to stay tuned to us, to this what's it called, to the project, so that you would understand how this is. You're going to gain a beautiful hands-on experience doing this, and you are going to enjoy it a lot. So this project is going to last for just a week. It means that I'm not saying that you need a whole week to set this up, but what is going to happen is that we are going to give a week for everybody to complete this and submit their project. So to submit your project, we are going to be putting out the link to a Google Doc where you are going to submit the link to your static websites being served from CloudFront and not from S3 itself. One other thing we are going to be learning during the course of this project and during the course of further projects is the art of documentation. Our speaker has told us tonight how important documentation is to show what you can do and to show how you can do what you can do. So, if you want to build your portfolio, one very important thing you have to learn to do is documenting your projects properly. So, we are going to be starting with very simple documentation for this project of ours that we want to do. And then as we proceed and as the projects gets more challenging, we are going to do much better with our documentation, and we are going to explore different ways we can document our project. So that's basically it. After this particular project, we're going to have more projects. We're going to have another project and we are going to be talking about the duration of the project and what we want to do therein. But for this very first project, we are going to be making use of CloudFront and S3. We are going to be hosting a static website on S3, and we are going to be serving the contents through a CDN. That's a content delivery network, which is CloudFront. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Fauzia, for that thorough explanation. I'm very sure a lot of us are excited already about this project's phase and what would be able to achieve. So, just to add to what Fauzia said, or just to reiterate some of our points, please note that it is important. I think, or I would advise you to actually document, your projects as you do them. Just as Bob said earlier, it's very important that that we document our projects, and also because that's what will show that we've worked on something like this. That's what will show that we've used a certain technology in the past, right? So I think it's going to be a good one, so that as you're starting now, you start working with documentations, understanding how to document your projects properly, right? So I think we have come to the fun part um of this event today now. So we're going to be having a very short section. All right, so I'll explain the way it works so that you are able to um understand. Okay, so if you look at your screen, or if you look at your screen, you can see that there's a code, and there's a code there, and there's a barcode, and there's also like a number code. So basically, if you can head to that website, menti.com, and put in that code, okay? So that's the code is let me try and spin up the code. The code is 21, can't really say it's 2191666682. All right, so we'll be giving you some minutes to do that, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. So please head on to menti.com and put in the code that you can see on your screen. Okay. So I'll just be giving 1 or 2 more minutes for that to be completed. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. So Adewale, yeah, you can unmute. We should be able to hear you now. Yeah.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Yeah. Good evening. We can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right. So guys, 21916682. So 1 more minute and we'll be move. All right. All right. So we are going to start now. So Adewale, I think we can proceed now.
Okay, so I'll start with the first question, and I want you to be at alert. There shouldn't be complaints that the network wasn't very favorable to you. So everyone should be at alert while I display the questions. Okay, on to the first question. Let's get more participants. We have about 9 people here already.
Okay. All right. So guys, I'll wait. Join in. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't even mention it. That price used to be one. No. That price used to be one. No. Don't sleep on this. Okay. Don't worry. As far as you're around in Lagos, you're in Lagos, we'll get your price delivered to you. Okay. That's within Lagos, so, and within reasonable distance. You put come from Kogi State. All right, so I think we can. Okay, yeah, 10 players. 10 players are good. Who left again now? All right. Okay, I think we have 10 players now. I think we can go ahead.
Okay, on to our first question.
So the first question says, which activity is related to a snowball edge device available to a company at no cost? So read the questions well. There are four options. Use of the snowball appliance for a 10-day period. The transfer of data out of Amazon S3 to the snowball edge device. Daily use of the snowball edge device and transfer of data. Okay. You guys are out though. No, anyway, I think you should be going forward now. Yeah. They've answered. Yeah. So let's see the leaderboard now. Okay, so Paul Ayo is the leader now with 841 points, followed by Sam with 809 points, and by Cake. Okay, it's 769 points. All right, so this is closely contested. Let's move on to the next question. Hmm. Did we get in second question? I think you should press enter. Yeah, start. Yeah, exactly. Which pricing model should you use for EC2 instances that will be used in a lab environment for several hours on a weekend and must run uninterrupted? So, on demand, spots, reserved, dedicated instances. Everyone has voted. Okay, 7 people went for on demand, one for spots, and two for dedicated instances. Let's see the answers.
Can I move on to the next one?
Yeah, you can click on an arrow so that we can see the leaderboard. Okay, we'll see the leaderboard later, no problem. Question 3 now. Or is there a way we see the leaderboard? Yeah. All right. Which service records API activity on your account and delivers log files to Amazon S3? This is simple. Amazon Events Notification, CloudWatch, CloudTrail, CloudWatch Logs. So four options, choose an answer. 3, 2, 1. Let's see. Hmm. Okay, so 4 people got it correctly. Let's see. Can we see the leaderboard now? Hmm. Seems we have a new leader now. Wow, very close. So Tolu with 2,601 points, closely followed by Paul Ayo with 2,532 points, and Ajayi Martins with 2123 points. So let's move on to the next question. And please note to the gifts only for the first, second, and third one. Okay. Which AWS service is used for analytics? Hmm. Amazon RDS, Amazon Elastic Cache, Amazon Athena, Amazon S3. This is bonus question. No. 3, 2, 1, and okay, yeah. Most people voted for Amazon Athena as expected. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Tolu is still leading. Wow. Ajayi Martins has overtaken Paul Ayo, and Ajayi Martins is second. Gaibi is third. Paul Ayo is at fourth place. Can Paul Ayo pull a comeback? Let's see. Next question, please. Question 5 of 9. Okay. Don't be discouraged though, there's still time. When instantiating compute resources, which is a technique for using automated repeatable processes that are fast and avoid human error. Okay, we have snap passing. You can't see this object, very tiny. Fault tolerance, performance monitoring, bootstrapping. Okay, and that's snap shifting. Sure. Everyone has voted. Bootstrapping is the correct answer. Wow. I think this is going to affect the leaderboard in some way, but let's see. Let's see. Okay, wow. Leila. We have a new second person in second place now. Leila with 3,106 points. Tolu is still leading with 4,381 points. You guys, Tolu is giving you guys gap. Oh. Let's move on. Let's move on. Question 6 of 9. There's still time. Oh, if you get these questions fast, you can overtake Tulu. Which of this is not the reason to choose the cloud? Okay. Lesser competition in business, sustainability, cost optimization, and reliability. Remember, not. Okay. All right. As expected, everyone chose option. Almost everyone actually chose option A. Okay. Let's move on. Gradually coming to the end of this quiz. Well, we still have Tulu leading this session with Leila at second place and Ajayi Martins at third place. Wow, Paul, yeah, what happened to Paul now? Paul is now fifth or sixth. Yeah, he can still come back. Oh, let's see, let's see. I think we have 2 more questions, or three rather, 3 more questions. So there's still time, and there's still questions you can use. Just be as fast as you can. Which of these is not a step in building a powerful portfolio? Exactly. Let's see who people are listening today. Defining your target audience, paying professionals to get it done, document projects thoroughly, dedicated, dedicated relevant projects. Remember, there's a note there. Okay. Wow, wow. This is first question and everyone got right. So that means people listen today. That's good. All right. Let's move on. Tolu at first place, Lila at second place, and Guy B at third place. Almost done. Which is not a job opportunity for cloud learners. Okay. Cloud architect, software engineer, technical writer, observability engineer. Not a job. Remember, not a job. Okay. Software engineer. Let's see the results. For the leaderboard. Motulu no one grew. Wow, we have Toulouse still at first place, but now we have Cloud Ames. I think Cloud Ames was like 6th or 7th at some point, but Pulse is also making a comeback. Wow. So one more question now. Let's see. Ajayi Martins fell from second to fifth. Yeah. Last question. Brace for impact. And let's have it. Which of these rules below apply to AWS S3 bucket names? Very simple. Names must be unique across all of AWS. Names must be formatted as a DNS domain name. Names must be unique within a region. Names must contain uppercase letters. This is very simple, and okay, most people got it. Which is names must be unique across all of AWS. So it must be globally unique. All right. So so um so let's see the finalists. Wow. Wow. Oh, so I think to me will still be this thing. Okay. This was keenly contested, but at the end we have our winner who is Tulu. So virtual clapping for Tulu. Leila comes in at second place, and Cloud aims at third place. So please get across to us on any of our channels, WhatsApp, even on Twitter. You can send us a tweet at AWSCC in lag or Meetup, so we can discuss how we will deliver your prizes to you. Um, all right, so I think we have come to the end of this event today, and thank you to everyone who joined in at this event. Thank you also to our speaker, Bob Adewusi, who give us so much to learn today. Please, I advise you to come back to this video at your leisure time. So watch all that, or rather, you will watch all that Bob has said. We'll be sending the slide also to our community on WhatsApp and Meetup. So if you are not a part of our community, I advise that you join. Okay. So thank you to everyone. To my co-hosts and moderators, Emmanuel, Fauzia, Adewale, and Moses. Thank you so much. We'll be seeing, and please watch out for updates on the first project because we'll be releasing it very soon. And remember, you just have 1 week to complete it. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good night. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Okay.